The Slender Man is a fictional supernatural character that originated as a creepypasta internet meme, created by Something Awful forums, by the user Eric Knudsen, also known as Victor Surge, on June 10, 2009. The thread was a Photoshop contest in which users were challenged to create paranormal images. Forum poster Eric Knudsen, also known as Victor Surge, posted 2 black and white images of groups of children, to which he added a tall, spectral figure wearing a black suit. Surge also supplemented his submission with snatches of text, supposedly from witnesses, describing the abductions of the groups of children and giving the character the name the Slender Man. The quote under the first photograph read, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but it's persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time." -1983, photographer unknown, presumed dead. The quote under the second photograph read, "One of 2 recovered photographs from Sterling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slender Man. Deformities cited as film defects by officials. Fire at the library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence." 1986, photographer, Mary Thomas, missing since June 13, 1986. The Slender Man soon went viral, spawning numerous works of fan art, cosplay and online fiction known as creepypasta, horror stories told in short snatches of easily copyable text that spread from site to site. Divorced from its original creator, the Slender Man became the subject of myriad stories by multiple authors within an overarching mythos. In 2012, the Slender Man was adapted into a video game titled Slender, The 8 Pages. Within a month of release, the game was downloaded over 2 million times. Several popular variants of the game followed, including Slender Man Shadow and Slender Man for iOS. Stories of the Slender Man commonly feature him stalking, abducting or traumatizing people, particularly children. The Slender Man is not confined to a single narrative but appears in many disparate worlds of fiction, typically composed online. Fiction relating to the Slender Man encompasses many media, including literature, art and video series such as The Operator. Outside of online fiction, the Slender Man has become an internet icon and has influenced popular culture, having been referenced in the video game Minecraft with Renderman character and generated video games of his own such as Slender, The 8 Pages and Slender, The Arrival. He also appeared in a film adaptation of Marble Hornets, where he was portrayed by Doug Jones, and an eponymous film, where he was portrayed by Javier Botnet. At the beginning of 2014, a moral panic occurred over the Slender Man after readers of his fiction were connected to several violent acts, particularly a near-fatal stabbing of a 12-year-old girl in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Because the Slender Man's fictional mythology has evolved without an official canon for reference, his appearance, motives, habits, and abilities are not fixed but change depending on the storyteller. He is most commonly described as very tall and thin with unnaturally long, tentacle-like arms, or merely tentacles, which he can extend to intimidate or capture prey. In most stories, his face is white and featureless, but occasionally his face appears differently to anyone who sees it. He appears to be wearing a dark suit and tie. The Slender Man is often associated with the forest and/or abandoned locations and has the ability to teleport. Proximity to the Slender Man is often said to trigger a slender sickness, rapid onset of paranoia, nightmares and delusions accompanied by nosebleeds. Early stories featured him targeting children or young adults. Some featured young adults driven insane or to act on his behalf, while others did not, and others claim that investigating the Slender Man will draw his attention. The web series Marble Hornets established the idea of proxies, humans who fall under the Slender Man's influence, though initially, they were simply violently insane, rather than puppets of the Slender Man. Marble Hornets also introduced the idea that the Slender Man could interfere with video and audio recordings, as well as the Slender Man symbol, which became a common trope of Slender fiction. Graphic violence and body horror are uncommon in the Slender Man mythos, with many narratives choosing to leave the fate of his victims obscure. Shirachess notes that it is important to note that few of the retellings identify exactly what kind of monster the Slender Man might be, and what his specific intentions are. These points all remain mysteriously and usefully vague.